What's good, y'all? Sly Green Beats back in the building. Good to see you guys. Good to be back on YouTube. Back like I never left because I did it. All right. So this video is about panning. And panning, first of all, let's get this out the way. Pan is a character in Dragon Ball Z. All right, let's just get that out the way. But this is not that pan. This is separating and moving sounds on the audio spectrum. All right. And I'm going to this is basically for beginners, but advanced people, stay tuned, and intermediates. Just going to talk about panning here and what panning is and what I think is the best technique. Let me preface this by saying, when it comes to mixing, definitely incorporate your own style. I think that's what makes mixing fun. What I've learned is, a lot of great mixers have unique styles and ways of mixing, but they have, at the same time, they have like fundamental basic principles, like they all pan, and panning I feel like is a critical part of music and beat making, and it's actually a really easy thing to do, which is why like you should definitely be panning, because like I said, it's not really a hard thing to do. So panning, is like when you kind of separate the sounds. I'll go ahead and play this beat so you can just kind of hear a really clear example. All right. So you see, it's like, this is what's known as mono, when it's like really closer, and you can make it sound wider. This is like stereo separation, where it's like wider, right? All right. Okay. And let's start from here. Let's just start from here. So we have different sounds. Typically, I say it as a general rule of thumb, you kind of want to give each sound its own pocket of space, right? You don't have to go as far left as this. I actually will usually go to 9 o'clock is kind of what I've been taught. But, I might go a little further sometimes. I'm actually just messing around. But, I'm also just trying to like get a unique sound. I like panning all the way to the left. I have like a more ambient sound. Anyways, the point is, you kind of pan where you want, but in general, you just kind of want to leave your own space. But I would say typically, again, how far do you want to go? Want to go wide or left or right? Is about 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So you want to fit the pannage in this space. So what I mean is, like, typically a melody. Ooh, what did I even do with this beat? Okay, so let's see here. Well, I got like different melody type of sounds, but let's just say this one, for example. If this was the melody, I would just pan it to about here. Now, you want to use your ears as well. Speakers, ears, headphones, to make this decision, because like some sounds are kind of like already panned in their own way when they arrive, but typically that's like a good rule of thumb. So, but you can do it visually though at the same time. The visual marker is there to be like, okay, like this is panned at this mark, so let me not pan one at exactly 50%. And it just kind of depends on how many sounds you have, on how much you want to separate it. And again, just like whatever you want to do. Now, I don't remember where this one was, but I'm just not going to save this beat. But anyways, okay, so you're panning, right? You can pan left and right. So you can pan like the whole thing like this, the whole sound, or you could just pan in the left ear or the right ear. So that's the other type of panning, right? And certain sounds kind of more so warrant the left and the right. I think the only thing that I would consider that with is the hi-hats and the toms, which are on a drum set, and that's typically based off of like it's kind of like a realistic thing where it's like the hi-hat would be kind of over here and the toms would be kind of on the right side. But however you want to do it. I've heard people going right then left. So by that I mean, like, if for the hi-hat, so the left-right panning is up here. Maybe I'll pan it a little bit to the left, right? And if I had toms, which I don't have, I'd pan it to the right. I don't have toms. But if I had like a kind of similar sound, I might pan that to the right, like an open hi-hat, or that's just kind of how I'm doing it. And yeah, so you can pan left, right, I'm sure some of you might have a certain way that you want to pan left and right. Okay, but yeah, panning left and right is definitely a thing. And but you don't want it to be too crazy. Like, you wouldn't want to pan it like this to where it's just like, and then that. Maybe it just, I like a subtle pan. I think a subtle pan is what you want to go for with these type of sounds. And I'm trying to incorporate toms more in my beats. But like I said, if this was a tom, it would be perfect. It would be perfectly panned, kind of like that, with the left and the right. Let me see if you can hear that. So it's very subtle, which I like. But if it's like this, let's go to the part where the hi-hat's playing. I don't know. It actually does sound kind of cool, but like, like I said, it's beat making. So I mean, like I said, you could do that. I don't want to discourage. I try not to be too prescriptive, as in like I try not to tell you exactly what to do, because I just really want you guys to just get the open-ended concepts and just kind of have your own fun with it. And honestly, like a year from now or several months from now, I don't want to make the mistake of being like, okay, like, oh, you should have done it this specific way. I said to do it this specific way. That's what I know about panning. That's what I do with panning. If you pan however you want to pan, but panning is definitely a thing, and definitely try to pan. If you get nothing from this video, get on the pannage, all right? And pan, just pan, all right? And, you know, you can do your own research of where to pan what. I would say typically also like a bass sound is typically more centered. Okay. That's probably like the main one that's centered. And I would say like a melody is more like stereo. So a bass is more like centered, as in like mono. So you see kind of like I have this bass just ridiculously all the way to the right. And I have it like right in the center. And what it does, the effect it's supposed to give is like more of like a foundation through the middle. That's really it. I don't think there's much more to panning than that. But again, left, right. You can pan it right in the mixer here. You can also pan it left, right here as well. So you can pan sounds left and right here. You can just, I'm sorry, this one here. You can move it in the knob like that. It's basically the same thing, pretty much. However you want to do that. I don't really have a recommendation of whether to pan it here or here. I prefer to pan it here because it's just like a little bit easier to keep track of like where the sounds are. So that being said, I might actually pan this one a little bit to the left. What we got going on here? That actually creates a pretty cool effect. And that was a great live example. And this is not a finished beat, by the way, but I'm still like making this beat. But yeah, that's really it as far as panning goes, guys. If you have any panning-based questions, reach out to panning@slimegreenbeats.com. I'm just kidding. That's not really an email address. Our email address is, though, support@slimegreenbeats. We got info. They all kind of go to the same mailbox, which is like the one that we look at. So just like however you guys want to reach out to us, go ahead. Send us some emails, guys, because we don't get like any emails. Nobody sends us emails. Now don't spam us with emails. But if you have a reasonable question, some guys ask questions in the comments, and it can be hard to understand what you're talking about without like a screenshot. So if you have a screenshot, that would help. You can get an app called Snagit. That's what I use. Snagit. Let me show you Snagit. Never mind. I can't really show it right now. But anyways, the point is you can get Snagit. What else? That's it for this video. Make sure you guys check out our book. Make sure you guys check out our new subscription. SlimeGreenBeats.youtube.com/join. And that's it for this video, guys. Peace out.